What if the mixed signals, the need for space, and the quiet behavior you don't understand are actually their version of getting attached to you? Because with avoidant people, love doesn't sound like "I need you." It sounds like something much harder to recognize unless you know exactly what to listen for. Welcome back to Distant Soul, where we explore the hidden psychology of human connection. And today, we're uncovering the subtle ways avoidant individuals express love without ever saying it directly. There's a certain kind of person who keeps their emotions at arm's length. They guard their heart carefully, almost like it's something fragile that needs constant protection. Vulnerability makes them uneasy. They'll often say they're not interested in relationships, yet somehow they keep circling back to you. Avoidant attachment is widely misunderstood. These individuals don't express love in the usual obvious ways. You won't hear grand declarations or dramatic confessions. Instead, their feelings show up through subtle cues, mixed signals, and a kind of honesty that's measured and controlled, so quiet that most people miss it entirely. What we're really doing here is learning how to read that unspoken language. Because when someone with an avoidant style says certain things, it's rarely casual. Those words often mean they're slowly letting you into a space they've spent years protecting. And if you know what to listen for, you'll start to notice something important. They may already be emotionally connected to you, even if they never say it outright. Let's break down a few of the phrases that reveal what's really going on beneath the surface and why, for them, these words can carry the same weight as "I love you," even if they never use those exact words. One of the most common and most misunderstood things they might say is, "I'm not really into people, but you're different." At first glance, it sounds like a simple compliment, but for someone with avoidant tendencies, it means far more than that. It's like they're opening a door they usually keep locked. Their sense of identity is often built around extreme independence. Deep down, they've learned to depend only on themselves because others have felt unreliable, unpredictable, or emotionally unsafe. This isn't about ego, it's about self-protection. It's a strategy they develop to avoid getting hurt. So when they tell you that you're different, what they're really saying is that you've disrupted something deep within them. You've challenged their belief that closeness is unnecessary or even dangerous, and that's not a small shift. It shakes the foundation they've relied on for years. It means the emotional barriers they've built don't seem to work the same way with you. You've reached them in a way they didn't expect. And for someone who's used to keeping distance, that can feel both unsettling and strangely magnetic at the same time. What they're really noticing is that they're beginning to feel something they usually avoid. Genuine closeness, real attachment, an emotional pull they can't easily ignore. They won't say, "I'm falling for you," because that level of openness feels too exposed. But "you're different" is the closest they can get to expressing that truth without fully stepping into it. Another phrase that carries a lot of meaning is when they say, "I don't usually talk about this." People with avoidant attachment are often very good at keeping conversations on the surface. They can be engaging, funny, and sociable without revealing much about themselves. They'll talk about work, hobbies, opinions, anything that keeps things safe and emotionally controlled, but they rarely go deep into their personal world. So when they admit, "I don't usually talk about this," it signals a shift. It means they're stepping outside their comfort zone intentionally. They're about to share something personal, maybe a past experience, a fear, or something they've never voiced before. And what matters most isn't just what they're saying, but the fact that they're choosing to say it to you. For them, this isn't casual. It feels risky. It's like stepping into unfamiliar territory without armor. Their instincts usually tell them to hold back, to stay guarded, to retreat. But in that moment, they don't. Why? Because their connection with you is starting to matter more than their fear of being seen. What they're really communicating is, "I don't let people get this close, but I'm letting you." It's vulnerability in motion, even if it comes with hesitation. This is also why it can feel confusing when they say something like, "I need some space, but I still want to talk to you." On the surface, it sounds contradictory. It can feel like they're pulling away while also trying to stay connected. And if you value consistency, that push and pull dynamic can be frustrating or even hurtful. But beneath that statement is something much more complex. For someone with avoidant attachment, needing space isn't just a preference, it's more like a pressure release. When emotional closeness starts to build through frequent communication, deeper conversations, physical closeness, or growing dependence, their system can become overwhelmed. Their reaction isn't calculated, it's automatic. This response often traces back to earlier experiences where closeness didn't feel safe or stable. Over time, they internalized a pattern. Distance feels safe, closeness feels risky. So even if they genuinely want connection as adults, another part of them reacts as if that connection could lead to harm or loss of control. That's why their behavior can seem so contradictory. They can miss you while pulling away. They can care deeply and still ask for space. And this is where most misunderstandings happen. When they say, "I need space, but I still want to talk to you," or "I don't want to lose you," it might sound inconsistent, but psychologically, it's actually a very honest reflection of what's happening inside them. They're experiencing two opposing forces at once. One part of them is trying to protect their independence and emotional balance by creating distance. The other part recognizes that they're forming a bond they don't want to lose. That small word, but matters more than it seems. It's where their attachment shows, not in the request for space, but in the effort to stay connected despite that need. If you translated what they're really feeling, it might sound like this: "I'm overwhelmed and I need to step back so I don't shut down completely, but I don't want to lose you in the process." And that distinction is important, because if they truly didn't care, they wouldn't try to maintain any connection at all. They would simply withdraw, disappear, and let the distance grow. That's the pattern many avoidant individuals fall into when they feel emotionally flooded, complete disengagement. So when they remain present while also asking for space, it actually means something different. It shows that despite their discomfort, they're trying to stay connected in a way they can handle. They're not just reacting, they're internally negotiating. This also sheds light on another phrase that often gets misinterpreted: "This is moving really fast." For most people, that might sound like hesitation or a sign they're unsure about continuing. But for someone with avoidant tendencies, fast doesn't necessarily refer to time. It refers to intensity. It's not about how long you've known each other, it's about how quickly the emotional depth is increasing. For someone with this pattern, things like constant texting, regular attention, deeper emotional talks, or even a growing sense of reliance can start to feel overwhelming. Not because the relationship is objectively moving too quickly, but because their internal wiring experiences intimacy as something that gradually builds pressure. So when they say, "This feels like it's moving too fast," it's usually not a rejection. It's more of a realization that they're being pushed beyond what feels familiar or comfortable. It's awareness, not necessarily a desire to leave. What really matters is what they do after saying it. If they pull away completely and disappear, that points toward full avoidance. But if they stay present, keep communicating, continue showing effort, and remain connected even while expressing discomfort, then what you're seeing isn't disinterest, it's adjustment. They're trying to find a middle ground, a way to stay close without feeling overwhelmed, a way to experience connection without losing their sense of safety. It's a constant balancing act between wanting closeness and fearing it at the same time. In simpler terms, what they're really expressing is, "I'm feeling more than I'm used to, and it's a lot to handle, but I don't want to lose this." That's often as honest as they can be without feeling too exposed. So when they say something like, "I'm not good at relationships," it's not just a warning or an excuse to lower expectations. It's usually genuine self-awareness. They recognize that connection is more challenging for them than it seems to be for others. They know consistency becomes harder when emotions deepen. And at the same time, there's often an unspoken hope that you'll understand them enough to stay while they figure things out. It's vulnerability wrapped in caution, interest mixed with fear, a desire for connection trying to exist inside a system that keeps pushing them toward distance. Then there are moments when they say something like, "You should probably lower your expectations now so you don't get hurt later." At first that can sound harsh, or even like they're pushing you away before anything really begins. But underneath, there's usually something much more exposed. It's rarely about not caring. More often, it's a mix of fear, honesty, and self-awareness about their own patterns. Many people with avoidant tendencies are very aware of how they behave in relationships. They've seen the cycle before: getting close, feeling overwhelmed, pulling back, shutting down, creating distance when emotions become too intense. So when they say things like this, it's not because they don't care, it's because they care enough to anticipate where things might go, and that uncertainty makes them uneasy. When they admit, "I'm not good at this," it's doing several things at once. First, it's an act of vulnerability. They're acknowledging a flaw, which isn't easy for someone who usually protects themselves emotionally. Second, it can also be a quiet test, not in a manipulative way, but in a protective one. They're wondering if you'll still stay once you see their imperfections, whether you'll lose interest when things aren't smooth, whether their honesty will push you away. In a way, they're giving you an exit door early, not because they want you to leave, but because part of them expects that you might eventually. It's almost like they're asking, without directly saying it, "If you know this about me, are you still going to stay?" And then there's another layer that often gets missed. The fact that they're even having this conversation with you means something. It means you matter enough for them to be this open. Someone who truly doesn't care wouldn't go into this level of self-reflection. They wouldn't explain themselves or stay engaged in something emotionally complicated. They would either keep things surface level or walk away entirely. So if they're still there, still talking, still trying to explain what's going on inside them, that already says a lot. It means there's enough emotional investment for them to sit with discomfort instead of escaping it. What they're really trying to communicate is something like, "I know I struggle with closeness. I know I don't always handle relationships well, but I'm still here and I'm still trying because this matters to me more than I expected." That's not a promise of perfection. It's a sign of effort. And then there are moments when they say something even more revealing. "I miss you." It sounds simple, ordinary even, but for them, it carries much more weight than it might for others. Their usual mindset is rooted in independence. Somewhere inside, there's often a belief like, "I don't need anyone, I'm fine on my own." So admitting that they miss someone challenges that belief directly, because saying, "I miss you," isn't just about noticing someone's absence, it's about acknowledging their impact. It means your presence has become meaningful enough that your absence is actually felt. And for someone who has spent years minimizing attachment, that realization can feel uncomfortable. Not because they don't want connection, but because connection introduces dependence, and dependence opens the door to vulnerability. So when they admit they miss you, they're allowing that truth to surface despite the discomfort. They're recognizing that your absence has created a feeling they can't ignore anymore. At its core, what they're really saying is, "I didn't expect to feel this affected by you, but I do, and I can't pretend otherwise." That's where the shift becomes clear. Because for someone with avoidant tendencies, acknowledging need isn't casual. It goes against the internal rules they've relied on to stay emotionally safe. So when they cross that line and express it, it usually means something real has formed. Not something temporary, not something surface level, but a genuine emotional connection. It doesn't mean their fears suddenly disappear. It doesn't mean their patterns are gone. But it does mean something has made its way through the defenses they've spent years building. And that's why it often feels so intense for them, because they're no longer observing connection from a safe distance. They're actually inside it now, experiencing it in real time. What all of this really comes down to is understanding that not everyone expresses love in obvious or familiar ways. For someone with an avoidant attachment style, connection doesn't show up as grand gestures or clear declarations. It appears in small, careful steps, subtle words, mixed signals, and moments of honesty that carry far more meaning than they seem on the surface. When you learn to recognize these patterns, their behavior starts to make more sense. The distance isn't always rejection, the hesitation isn't always disinterest, and the contradictions aren't always confusion. More often, they reflect an internal struggle between wanting closeness and fearing what it might bring. Every time they open up, ask for space but stay, admit their struggles, or even say they miss you, they're revealing something real. They're showing that despite their instinct to pull away, there's a part of them choosing to stay connected. This isn't about idealizing avoidant behavior or ignoring your own needs. It's about seeing clearly, understanding that their way of expressing care is quieter, more guarded, and often layered with fear. But when they continue to show up, even imperfectly, it usually means the connection matters more to them than they expected. In the end, their love may not be loud, but it is present, not easy, but genuine. And sometimes the most meaningful emotions are the ones that are hardest for someone to express. If this opened your eyes to what's really happening beneath the surface, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Distant Soul, and hit the bell icon so you never miss these deeper insights. And if you truly felt this message, comment the word unspoken below. I'll know you understood.